Hey everybody and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the preset data entities that exist within SAP Build Apps, formerly known as Appgyver. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with what Appgyver is, it's basically going to be your codeless application development platform that allows you to build mobile and web apps completely free without coding. So before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the channel for new content. Now, if I move too fast in this video, I have other video tutorials on my channel. You can check those out to get additional insight into how to use the platform. Now, what we're going to do to get started is we're going to build out our app. And I'm not trying to make this aesthetically pleasing. I'm just trying to show you how to use the functionality. So what we're using for today, we have our text, 2 input fields, and a button. I've dragged each of these over by clicking and dragging here. Now, once you've done that, we're going to go to our variables. I'm going to create page variables, and I've added one for A, B, and C. Now we can go back to our user interface and choose our text option. You can click here, click Data and Variables, and what we're doing is we're tying this to page variable A. You can then repeat the process for this input field with variable B, and this field with C. Now, I've named this field, the label is just code, and I've named this one extra because we may not even use it. Then I have a button here, again, drag it over. Now, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Marketplace and find one that we want. So we'll click Data, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use Open Food Facts because some of these may require authentication, which means you have to go to the website, sign up, get a token to use. I just want to go ahead and pull this in quickly. So we're going to click Open Food Facts, Install. Now you may be wondering what happened, where did it go? If you click Integrations, you'll see that we have Open Food Facts right here. And if you want to learn more about it, you can click through, but we're just going to use the Get Record option. So we're just going to click Save, and I'll show you how to use that. Now, if you're trying to use it in a given page, you can go to Variables, Data Variables, and add it from there, but we won't need that for this specific application. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to click Go. Then we're going to click on Add Logic. Now, from here, we need 2 things. We need our set app variable, and then we also need get record. We're going to connect it, and then we'll connect this node to this one. Now we're connecting the top one because this is basically our success or status. So now that we've done this, we're saying when we click the button, we're going to get record. From here, you choose your resource by clicking on this option, and we're going to choose the API that we downloaded. Now, this will also work if you're working with pre-configured data resources as well. We're going to click Save, and from here, we have a barcode. Now, regardless of the resource, basically what we're doing is we're saying, I want to pull from this resource, so this is the name of the data entity. We're saying, okay, Open Food Facts. And then the barcode is basically the record we're using. To help you visualize this, if you go to Integrations and click Open Food Facts, if we go to Get Record, this is basically what we're doing. We're pulling from this relative path, and we're pulling the barcode. And you'll see a sample default value here that you can look into if you're interested. So I'll grab this and save it just for testing purposes, but you can also test here. So for example, you can run tests from within this field and kind of figure things out or check out the schema if you're interested. But for now, we're just going to go back to our user interface so that we can work through this a bit more. So we're going to click on Go, and we're going to click Open Record or Get Record, and you'll see we still have it selected here. So now we're going to choose what this barcode actually is. Now, you'll see I have code here. It's our second input field, so I can choose our page variable B. And I know B is tied to this one here, so basically whatever we type is going to be the barcode that's getting pulled. Then we're going to go to this set app variable, and we're going to set it to, and we'll choose. Now in this case, I've pulled the set app variable, and I actually want set page variable. So we'll drag this one over instead, but it's just whatever variable you used. Now variable name is set to A, And that's correct. That's this first one. Now we're going to go to assigned value. Assigned value is basically going to be, what do you actually want to assign this? So the idea is, what are we going to tell variable A, which is this, to be? So we could choose output of another node, get record, and this is going to be a text option. Now this API is a little bit complex, so you'll see we have a ton of different lists, and you can only select the text options. Now, this can be fine in some cases, maybe not in others, but you'll see the structure of what a call is going to return. So you can go through and figure out if you find the text option that you want, then that's totally fine. But maybe you decide that there's something within one of these lists you need, so we'll go through that in a moment. But at the very, very top, you'll see we have the code and then the product, which is the object with all of this. So we have keywords, allergens, all of these other options. So what we'll try to start out with first and foremost, we could try, for example, maybe we want the ID or the keywords. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a formula as kind of a workaround. So what you can do with formulas is you can type in output, and then as you scroll through, you'll see all of the output options from the get record text. Now, a thing to note is when you select it, if it's an object, you're going to have to modify things to get this to work, and we're not really covering that here. So we're just looking for some of those text fields. You'll see example values on the side, and basically you are looking for options that might be useful. So you can see here we have embed codes, we have image options, we have tons of different things. And typically something like this, for example, this is an object with a ton of text. So you'll scroll through, try to figure out what specifically you're looking for. For example, maybe you want specific codes, maybe you want the last editor, entirely up to you. And then you'll see that we also have these modified options down here. So there's a ton of different values you can pull from. So you'll just need to figure out what specifically you're looking for. And again, it has to be within this output section. So for example, if we were to scroll up, I know that there was an option for allergens and a few others. We have our product code. So let's try this one for now and just see what's returned. So let's click save and save. Now we're going to test this out in our preview. So we have code, we'll paste in the barcode we copied from earlier and click paste or click go, and you'll see it returns that barcode back. So we know that we have this API function working. Let's try to assign it something different. So we'll use output and just find something simple. So we maybe want allergens. Let's try that one out. So we'll click save. And you'll see the page refreshes. We'll paste that barcode in, click go, and you'll see we have sample allergens listed. So now we could go and choose output, update things throughout, and just kind of pick whatever options we're interested in. Maybe data sources. Maybe we want to figure out where is this actually coming from. So we'll choose and put in our barcode, and you'll see the databases up here. Now, you may be wondering, how do we make some modifications to make this a little bit more appealing? So you do have the option once you've selected something. You'll see the content here. We can choose formula, and you'll see it's saying the page variable here. So what we could do is we could put in quotes data source and add it or concatenate to the page variable. So basically this is static text saying we're pulling from a data source, and then it'll provide whatever the page variable is next to it. You can click save, and then you can actually duplicate this component. So when we click on a component, we have this menu field. You can click duplicate, and then we could choose different text that we want to see. For example, if we wanted something like page variable, let's just say C, because we have an extra one. We could choose data variables, page variable, C, and save. And then we can go into formula and choose what we want page variable C to be. So we'll wrap things up now. So we'll click Set Page Variable, and we're going to just copy and paste it. And we're going to choose variable C this time. And we'll click Save, and we'll assign a value, output of another node, get record, and we'll find a random option that is a text type that we can use. So let's see, we'll scroll through. We have a nutrition score, a couple of other options. So let's just click states and see what we get back. And then just like we did before, we can click here, click content, formula, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the page variable as it is. We'll put a double quote, and then we'll put states and space plus space. And we're going to click save, save, save. And once the app updates here, you'll see we have data source, states. When we paste in our code, we should also see a value here. And you'll see that we have our data source and then states, and we have this, all of this information here, which also shows up here because we have that page variable in both places. But that's the general basics. If you want, we can delete this, or you can tie things in however you want, and then save things, choose whatever options you want from there, kind of clean it up a bit. But that's the basics of how to use this. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below, and I'll see you all in the next video.